A regular meeting of the City Council was held in council chambers on Thursday, September 9th, 2010 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on September 3rd, 2010 at 9:17 a.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. All councilors are present. Council President McCarthy is presiding. Council Ryan moves to dispense with the reading of the previous record. All is in favor, all is opposed. I now ask that we rise for the pledge, and join Councilor Pinto with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Point of personal privilege, please.
As suspension of the rules for Councilor Sosnowski, have a point of personal privilege. All in favor, all opposed. Councilor Sosnowski.
What I'd like to do is bring to everybody's attention a sad occasion. Today, approximately 11 o'clock this morning, Dave Goggin passed away, a big friend of the city, huge friend of the city, huge friend of everybody here in the council. He's a friendly force. I've never heard a bad thing out of the man's mouth ever. And I would like to rise for a moment of silence, and I'd also like other people to make comment if they would, please, because this is a great man, and we've lost a treasure here in Salem. And I wish the best to Casey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody could please rise.
Everyone please rise for a moment of silence.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to say something? Councilor O'Keefe.
Point of personal privilege, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Councilor.
I would also like to add a little personal thing to what Michael said about David Jerome Goggin. I was an altar boy at his first wedding at the Immaculate Conception Church. He was in the Coast Guard, as I recall, down at Winter Island during the war, and he met someone in Salem, and he married this lovely lady, and I was the altar boy. He actually brought a picture of me all dressed up in the cassock and surplice to me one meeting, and I have at home. I'm very touched by what he did for me on that. When I was state fire marshal, he was both a lieutenant, he was a captain, and then he was promoted to fire chief. And I would go to monthly meetings of the Fire Prevention Association throughout the state, and all the fire prevention officers throughout all the fire departments, big ones, little ones, call, volunteer, would be there, like 150 people, all over the state, different monthly meetings. And one of the chiefs or the deputies would have gotten and asked me a question about some particular CMR, which are fire regulations, and I'm supposed to know it all like that. So I would look around and I would look for David or Norman LaPointe. He was another one that would go to these meetings, and I would look at David, and David would get up and he would expound on what the particular reference was, and he would solve the problem. And he would get me out of hot water on that particular one. And then another meeting I recall, it was very embarrassing because I said one thing and he disagreed with me, and all the fire chiefs and the deputies and what have you said, why don't we talk about this again? So we talked about it, and I spoke to the deputy and explained to me what the circumstances were regarding tank trucks down at, you don't recall, but there's big tanks down at where the ferry is, and they used to bring all the fuel oil in New England down Webb Street to these tank farms down there to fuel oil. And they would go along Webb Street, and I was the ward councilor. I was always having problems with the truck speeding along Webb Street, Ward 2, Mike Sosnowski's ward. And him and me would time the trucks and would stop the trucks and all of that business. And he was only a fire chief, a lieutenant at the time, and he was stopping these tank trucks. But he was a great asset to me, great asset to the state, great asset to the Salem Fire Department, and great asset personally to his family. His boy is a building inspector in Peabody, and another boy is down working for the FEMA people in Florida. I had these kids in Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts. I appreciate everything, David. I miss him. And God, he would come here. You'd see, the council would see him talk to me at night. He'd have an opinion. And I would always say, you're right, deputy, whatever you say. And he was right. And I miss him, and God bless him. He'd have a place in heaven with all the other firefighters. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Anyone else? Joan? Council Lovely, I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's all right. That's my name. Just very briefly, I too, enjoyed David and his years, service to the city. He certainly had a tremendous amount of information and institutional knowledge that he shared, particularly with me, about the CMR, about the fire regulations. If something was amiss, especially with Sylvania, he was all over that site because he must have been on the fire department when they used to have to go out and pump water out of the basement over there. But we'll miss him. I'll miss having him here, but I look forward to having TC back over there. But they're kind of like bookends here, and a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and a great man, and the city will miss him.
Council Pelletier.
Yes, I'd like to relate to a story back when I was welding 25 years ago. Right across the street on the corner of Line Street, we were putting some I-beam in the roof to support a new floor up there. And then Inspector Goggin come up and started screaming, "Where are the hoses? Where are the fire extinguishers?" And I pointed over in the corner, there was a stack of hose, 10 fire extinguishers. And I just went, "What else you want?" Oh, I'm sorry. But a wonderful guy. He did a lot for the city, and well, I'm sure I can say we all support TC. Thank you.
Council Rono.
Yes, Mr. President, David Goggin was my neighbor, and I didn't know him until I ran for office. He lives right down the street from me, really probably we're only separated by 7 or 8 houses, but I didn't know him until I ran. Obviously, TC was running in the race as well. I got to know him well, and I was away when he passed, so I didn't know about his passing until I came in here tonight, and he was conspicuously absent by his by not being here. I don't think that I ever came to a council meeting besides tonight that he wasn't here. He would sit on this side, and I thought it very odd that his wife never sat with him, and she sat on the other side. And I think that was probably to get 2 perspectives on what we were doing here. Spoke with him this summer after he came back from the doctor. He told me that he had had bad news, and that was the only time that I heard him say anything that was less than positive. True gentleman, and he will be missed.
Before we go back to the regular part of the meeting, I would just add as well, as a newly elected rookie counselor, David became a fixture, and he was always one that always sat right there next to Chris Cassidy. Everyone thought he was working for the news with him, I think. And he always had a kind word and always had something positive to say, and always, if something had come up during the 2 weeks between we met, he'd always came and would let you know what he thought, and then he always gave a great and unique perspective. And I find it almost unbelievable that you were his altar boy at his first wedding, counselor. I'd love to see the picture of that old cassock and surplice.
I'll bring it.
I used to wear one way back. I used to wear one way back when, but I will miss him, and my thoughts and my prayers go out to TZ and the whole Goggin family at this time. At this point, I would entertain Councilor Sosnowski's motion to return to the regular part of the meeting.
So moved.
Hearings. None. Appointments and reappointments. Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Sosnowski has suspension of the rules. All those in favor, all those opposed? This matter will be held under the rules. Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you.
Further appointments and reappointments.
The mayor's appointment and reappointment of the following to serve as constables with the following terms to expire. Antonia Barletta, term to expire September 5th, 2011. Bruce Hall, term to expire July 9th, 2013. Michael Paniton, term to expire August 20th, 2013.
Councilor Lovely.
Mr. President, actually, I'd move to divide the question and take Antonio Barletta separately, and I'll explain why, because I actually signed his papers to sponsor him as a constable, so I don't feel it's appropriate for me to vote on it. So if you could divide it out, I'll vote present for that one.
Sure. If any objection on the division of the question? Seeing none. On the matter, Councilor Lovely, if you would move to receive and place on file the appointments of Mr. Hall and Mr. Paniton.
Move to receive and place on file Mr. Hall and Mr. Paniton.
All those in favor? All those opposed? If another member, if Council Sosnowski would move on the appointment of Mr. Barletta.
Should be received and placed on file.
Council Sosnowski's motion that the appointment of Mr. Barletta be moved and received and placed on file. All is in favor?
Present. Oh.
All is opposed. Let it be recorded that Councilor Lovely is present for that matter. Thank you, councilors. Communications from the mayor.
We have a transfer of $5,000 from receipts reserve sale of vaults to cemetery burial.
Councilor Creevy.
Mr. President, I move that the matter be adopted.
Under discussion?
Briefly, Mr. President, this is a standard transfer that comes up now and again, just to ensure that we have enough continuing funds for contracted services for the cemetery.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Creevy's recommendation that this matter be adopted, all is in favor? All is opposed? Further communications from the mayor.
Received after the deadline of Tuesday noon.
Councilor Creevy.
Mr. President, I move for suspension of the rules.
On Councilor Creevy's motion for suspension of the rules, all is in favor? All is opposed? Councilor Creevy.
Mr. President, I move further for suspension of the rules.
On Councilor Creevy's motion for further suspension of the rules, all is in favor? All is opposed?
Mr. President, I would move that this matter be adopted.
I would ask for the clerk.
City
to
Clerk,
read it.
would you like to read in what we're going to adopt? I think that's the one
An
thing.
appropriation of $4,799.91 to Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback for the retirement of Ann Bustede, Treasurer.
Councilor Creevy.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we all know, Ann Bustede retired the last few weeks from the city after doing an outstanding job. She was certainly a model employee and did a fantastic job at the Treasurer's office. There was never really any question, I know, on behalf of the council during her tenure since I've been on here about the quality of work that she performed, and she did an admirable job. She often stayed late a lot of times. I know she worked weekends. She did hours that kind of exceeded the requirements of her jobs, but she did so because she wanted to do an outstanding job, and I think the city certainly owes her gratitude. In addition to owing her gratitude, we also owe her money. And that is what leads us to this thing where she obviously, because of her retirement, her sick and her vacation leave amounts to this amount of money. So with that, I would ask my colleagues for support on this so she can certainly get, as part of her retirement, this money which is owed to her. Thank you.
Any further? Councilor Pinto.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to echo Councilor Creevy's sentiments. I had a chance to speak with Ann and work with Ann in the short time I've been on the council. And during the A&F meetings, when she would come in, she was very professional. I mean, there wasn't a question you couldn't ask this woman where she didn't have an answer. And it really helps when you become a counselor and you don't know a lot about the money. Ann was very professional. And I also would like, if we could present her with a city seal for her service. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Council Preview's recommendation that this matter be adopted, all those in favor, all those opposed. Further communications from the mayor.
Received after the deadline of Tuesday noon.
Council Preview.
Mr. President, I move for suspension of the rules.
On Council Preview's motion for suspension of rules, all those in favor, all those opposed.
Ordered, authorize the treasurer to file an application with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to qualify under Chapter 44A of Mass General Laws for authorized but unissued bonds in the amount of $12 million.
Council Preview.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption, and we have with us tonight the Finance Director, Rich Visquet, who I spoke with at some length prior to our meeting tonight about this bond authorization and the change that he is recommending to make for the city, which will actually put us in a better financial light with regards to our bond rating. So with that, I would ask for suspension of the rules and allow Mr. Visquet to address the council and just kind of explain from my conversations with him what he communicated to me and to answer any questions that our colleagues have relative to this change.
On Council Preview's request for suspension of the rules to allow Mr. Visquet to address the council, all those in favor, all those opposed. Mr. Visquet, if you would, please, sir.
Thank you. This order brings to light the fact that back in 2003, there was an authorization of $12 million for some various water projects. That was predated when I worked here. Subsequent to that, when we do our bond authorizations, we do put a article in the bonding to allow us to use the state qualified bond act through the state of Massachusetts. That allows us to use the bond rating of the Commonwealth, which is a AA minus, versus what the city has currently with Standard & Poor's, which is single A. That's a 2-tick upgrade from our current bond rating. Part of the $12 million bond has already been long-term borrowed, but there is approximately $6 million that is authorized and unissued, $2 million of which we've done bond anticipation notes for. This October, we are going to sell long-term notes for all of our temporary debt, of which the $2 million is part of $14.5 million authorization. So by allowing us to add this into the application for state qualified bonds, we'll be able to realize the benefit of the state bonds rating for the entire bond sale.
Thank you. Any further? Council Ronan.
Mr. President?
Council Pelletier.
Through you, is there any urgency to our passing this motion tonight rather than having it go to the Committee on Administration and Finance so we can?
Yes, there's an application that's due to the Massachusetts Financial Oversight Board, which is chaired by Joe DiNucci. That application is due 2 weeks from yesterday. Our meeting is a week after that, so the application, we'd like to submit it with the approval of the council to add this on there. So if we waited and went to committee 2 weeks after we got approval, it won't be part of our application. That goes to the State Financial Oversight Board.
Mr.
Council Ronan.
Is there some reason why this wasn't submitted to us? I mean, did you know this was
No, the
coming?
bond counsel and financial advisors picked up on this because, again, it's a 2003 bond authorization. We've been dealing with the 2008, 2009, and 2010 authorizations that you've done. This is one that's been authorized and unissued for a while, so we're just looking to marry up the 2003 issuance with the ones that we've done over the last 3 years.
Okay, I suppose the only problem that I have is, I mean, this is, we're talking about $12 million here. We're asked, to approve, I guess, our application to the Commonwealth to qualify for the unused portion of this bond. But, I mean, we're talking about big numbers here without really any, I mean, I clearly don't have a...
All we're asking is that this, you allow us to put on the application this bond authorization to use the bond rating of the Commonwealth versus the bond rating of the city. So when we go to sell the bonds, instead of it saying $2 million worth would be grade A bonds and $14 million be grade AA minus bonds, they would all be AA minus bonds, which would afford us a better rate and save the city money in the long run.
Council Pelletier, then Council Creevy.
Yes, thanks, Mr. President. From my understanding, we passed this at the past administration, and this was the water tower and the upgrades of water improvements. All right, what's left of that $12 million?
There's about $6 million, $2 million of which we've done infrastructure improvements throughout the city for water mains, and the balance that's going to be authorized but not spent is the water tower portion, which is on hold pending the development of the Lowe's Walmart. Right. So we have $2 million that we have bond anticipation notes for that we want to turn into permanent debt, and the other $4 million will still remain authorized and unissued, and ultimately that'll be long-term borrowed, and by giving us the authority, we can also use the AA minus rating of the state.
Thank you, Rich. Mr. President and the City Council, we already authorized this. We can't take this back. All the mayor's trying to do is reduce the bond, reduce the interest rate, which we have a single A, and the state has a AA minus, which we're going to put our other bonds into too. So this will give us a decent rate than we're getting on that money now. So to me, it's a no-brainer. The money's already been approved, and we've been spending it right along. Okay, like Rich says, the only thing we haven't approved is the water tower on Highland Ave, because that project hasn't gone forward yet.
Councilor Creevy, then Councilor Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. President. That was my understanding what Councilor Pelletier just referenced, that we've already had access to this money since 2003 when the council...
Absolutely, absolutely. This is authorized in 2003,
Right.
all $12 million. This is just,
Right.
when we go to sell the notes, we'll get a better rate, a better bond rating, which will lead to a better overall rate.
This is not a new authorization.
Not at
for
all.
A new bond.
Not at
This is an
all.
old bond that we've authorized, and that now we're just asking to get it upgraded so we can get a better rate. And it's actually, as you point out, it's going to be married to the other bonds that have been part of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a financial benefit to it, not obviously a financial setback that's going to occur as a result of this.
No, just a two-grade upgrade in the rating, which typically leads to a better rate when the bonds are sold on the open market.
Thank you.
Counsel Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I pretty much understand what's going on. I just want to get it clear in my head. So basically, when we issue a bond now through you, it has this language, so we can either use the state's bond rating, which is better than ours.
That's right.
And at this time in 2003, when this was done, that language wasn't put in there, so we can't do it. So that's what we're doing now. We're putting the language there so we can save money. We're basically refinancing that.
That's right. For the unbonded portion, which is about $6 million.
Whatever's left
That's
over.
right.
So like Councilor Prevey said, there's no downfall. It's going to save us money. So.
That's right.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Prevy's recommendation that this matter be adopted. All those in favor? All those opposed? That carries. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Viskey.
Thank you.
Further communications from the mayor.
Mr. President, just a clarification, or actually a spelling error on my sheet here. It says ordered, authorize the treasurer to file an application with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Am I on the right thing right now? Yeah. It says Massachusetts to quality. That should be qualify.
Correct. That's the way Councilor Prevy read it. He corrected it already.
You got qualify on yours?
Yep.
I got quality on
I
mine.
have quality on mine, but I read it as quality. I mean, the city clerk actually is the one
Thank
that
you.
corrected it. It's quality,
Thank you, Council.
but qualify.
Further communications from the mayor.
Order to accept the donation in the amount of $2,000 from the towns of Danvers and Marblehead for the Essex County Summer Camp Program.
Councilor Prevy.
Mr. President, I move for approval.
Under discussion?
Under discussion, we want to thank the towns of Danvers and Marblehead for the contribution that they made toward the Essex County Summer Camp Program. We did a bunch of these also before we broke for the summer, and the donations continue to roll in, and we continue to accept them with a smile on our face and gratitude in our heart.
Thank you, Council. That's good. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Prevy's recommendation, this matter be, this order be accepted. All those in favor? All those opposed? Further communications from the mayor.
Order to accept donation in the amount of $1,000 from the city of Peabody for the Essex County Summer Camp Program.
Councilor Prevy.
Mr. President, I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
I'd like to thank, on behalf of the council, the city of Peabody for their donation of $1,000 to the summer camp program as well.
Thank you, Council. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on the acceptance of Councilor Prevy's recommendation that we accept this donation, all those in favor? All those opposed? Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions. First day back after the summer break. Councilor Pelletier.
It's been a while for me, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ordered, the City of Salem and the City Council, September 9th, 2010. Ordered that the Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs do a feasibility study regarding the public guide licenses and the historic accuracy of said guided tours. I recommend the following. Number one, we require ID photo badges, the same as required by the psychic readers, and do Cory checks. 2, require written disclaimers be given to said tourists regarding the historic accuracy of said tour. 3, review the cost schedule regarding the cost of the Cory check, photo IDs, and licenses, etc.
Under discussion?
Under discussion, thank you. I'm bringing this forward for several reasons. And the final straw was a postcard I have in my pocket tonight that was written to me unsigned. I think this finally was the icing on the cake for me, because I appreciate the tour business, but we have people out there running tours, inaccurate tours for the history. Now that's one thing, but our tourists don't know who these people are. And as a counselor, I don't even know who they are. I think we have 8 or 10 of them on the agenda this evening to go to the committee. And I'd just like the committee to do a study. Let's see what's going on, so that next year, I don't think we can get anything done this year, but maybe next year we can come up with a new set of standards for our public guides. Because if anything ever happens out there, in regards to a tourist, and they say, I'm a licensed tourist guide, well, how do they prove it? How do we know? We don't do Cory checks on these like we do for cabbies, and do we do?
Yes, we
Do we
do.
get Cory checks? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I wasn't aware of that. But nonetheless, I think a photo ID with a badge, just like we do for the psychic readers.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we give out
They already have them?
badges. We give out badges. Counselor.
Yeah, but not the ones that are walking around.
Yes, yes.
Well, they don't wear them. So I guess we'll have to, there's a lot going on. Okay, I'm just gonna put this in committee and deal with it in there.
Remarks?
Counselor O'Keefe.
Mr. President, members of the council, I think it's a great order that Councilor Pelletier is putting in.
Committee on Ordinance and Legal Affairs.
On ordinance, license, and legal affairs. However, I would like to add that we restrict these tours at sundown. Now, at 9 o'clock, over here, with these candles they're walking around, I mean, there should be a limit
Want me
as
to
to.
add that to the order, or you wanna wait till committee?
Bring it in committee. Please.
I mean, it's, they're in the cemetery, and Michael, Council Ward 2 might want to add it for or against
We
this.
can deal with that in
hours.
committee. I understand his point.
But we do regulate them, Councilor. Our committee worked on that many years ago. A little badge, they have clipped on.
I don't
Yes,
see
we
them.
did.
How come they're not wearing
Well,
them?
they're supposed to prominently display them. Yes.
Beneath their costume.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very briefly, we'll work on that in committee, and we'll get it all straightened out. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. On Council Pelletier's order that this feasibility study for public eyes be referred to the Committee on License, Orders, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor, all those opposed? Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Look at the hands coming up now. Councilor Sosnowski.
Okay. I was going to defer, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. In the year 2010, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic, Chapter 42, Section 50B, handicap parking, limited time. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Oliver Street in front of number 5 for a distance of 20 feet, handicap parking tow zone. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by city charter.
On discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion. Any further comments? Seeing none, and Councilor Sosnowski's recommendation to adopt the handicap parking zone. All those in favor? All those opposed? Any more, Councilor? Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, one last one, please. In the year 2010, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic, Chapter 42, Section 49. Obedience to isolated stop signs. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, North Pine Street at the intersection with Essex Street, a stop sign. This ordinance shall take effect as provided by city charter.
Any discussion?
Yeah, very briefly, there's a lot of traffic issues that are going on in that corner. When people are coming down Boston Street and when they're trying to avoid the lights, they sometimes take a left on Fowler, and then they take a right down onto North Pine and trying to come out and essentially trying to avoid the lights. Number one, Fowler is an incredibly small street that gets, the further into it you go, the smaller it becomes. Turning right onto Fowler, onto the North Pine becomes a problem in itself, and we're just trying to do anything we can to possibly slow it down there, because it's just, it's a hazard, and it's an accident waiting to happen. And if we can try to do a little preventative maintenance, so much the better. Thank you.
On Councilor Sosnowski's motion to amend the traffic, all those in favor? All those opposed? Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor O'Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the City Council. City of Salem in the year 2010, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic, Chapter 42, Section 51, parking prohibited. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Lakes Hill Road, beginning at the intersection of Loring Avenue and continuing to the Marblehead line, no parking either side, tow zone. This ordinance shall take effect as provided by the city charter.
On the discussion?
Mr. President, members of the council. Lakes Hill Road, if you've been over to Ward 7 recently, we're going to have nice new sidewalks that start at Lakes Hill Road and go all the way to Vinen Square, concrete sidewalks. Compliments of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department, Salem the Mass Highway Department, all the way. And they're going to come the other way to Lincoln Road. Compliments of Mass Highway. Our city engineer, the mayor's office was very instrumental in having these sidewalks installed. Now, this ordinance prohibits people from parking on Lakes Hill Road to dump their television sets in the woods or on the roadway on the sidewalk. The new we never had a sidewalk on Lakes Hill Road going up to the new Y. It was just a street that was all beaten up for 100 years. Now, we believe, and Lieutenant Pazuski shares my opinion, that we should have signs erected, no parking, so there's no lights there at night. So if someone's going to dump something there, they're going to take their life in their hands because it's so dark, we hope. And we're also going to put up signs, no dumping. But if you go up, if you've been up Lakes Hill Road, it's confusing because the 4 houses, the new houses you see there, are in Marblehead. So Lakes Hill goes up, if you've been there, I know Tom's been there, there's 4 brand new houses on your right, that's Marblehead. Then you go a little bit beyond that, it becomes Salem again. It becomes Salem until the road going up to the Y. That's Salem to that point there that the roadway takes you up. And the Y is aware of this prohibition that we don't want them, they don't want people parking on their end of Lakes Hill Road up toward the Marblehead line. They have increased the parking on the top of the hill, and they're in favor of this particular ordinance too. He's also coordinated this at my request with the Marblehead Police Department, so they're aware of this parking restriction that we have on our side of the highway. In fact, we request your endorsement of this ordinance.
Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question through you to the Ward 7 councilor.
I can hardly wait.
He referenced these houses that are on the Marblehead side. Whatever happened to the houses that were supposed to be built on the Salem side, which was part of the original plan up there?
Councilor O'Keefe.
The Y, in its wisdom, decided not to build any houses on the Salem side. And in their wisdom, it's good that they didn't because they need that for parking. Because where they were going to have some of the parking on, we're overlooking the pond there, it's now about 50 or 60 more spaces. And the planning board endorsed that application at the lower level. You know you have to drive around the Y, Fire Road that Fire Marshal required around the new Y. Well, if you come out into Marblehead, you'll notice there's a whole bunch of new parking spaces there that were where the houses were supposed to be, along that area. But those houses are actually in Marblehead, but they were on Y property. They were sold. They were sold by the Y. They had to recoup some of that money to put in that new road, I suspect.
Councilor Prevey.
And actually, I want to give them another dig, because I heard on the radio the other day that the ballet on WCRB, sign up for the ballet at the ballet school in Marblehead. And I was driving the car, going to work. I said, that ballet school is in the Y, which is in Salem. And they keep saying the Marblehead Swampscott Y. It's in Salem. But no, they think it's in Marblehead. Okay, the ballet school, it's in Marblehead, they say? It's in Salem.
Thank you, Councilor.
It's in Salem. The Y's in Salem. They don't want to admit it. But they don't give us any taxes, so
Councilor Prevey, then
you got any
Councilor
answer,
Pelletier.
Councilor Prevey?
Well, yeah, speaking of taxes, that was my understanding that those homes were supposed to be built in Salem as part of that project, so at least the city of Salem would benefit something financially. Wasn't that the enticement that was offered to our planning board to approve this project some time
If
ago?
it was, sir. Well, before we answer
joined
that,
her?
I'm going to let Councilor
Oh, all right.
I'll let him answer.
Good point.
You're going to let him answer?
Sure,
I don't want to turn this into a debate right now, so this will be the last go-around on
All
this.
right, Mr. President, members of the council, to rejoin to the council preview. However, the wisdom and knowledge and working with the kids that the Y has, I think we have to back off and say, look at all the kids that go to summer camp over there in the pool outside there. My wife goes there once in a while. And well, maybe your children or grandchildren will go there too. We gotta, good with the bad, we had to do something. They wanted to build a Y. I disagree with them. They shouldn't have built it. But it's there. We got to work with them. And the kids, if you see the little kids that are over there having a great time, I mean, it's worth it. We can't measure those kinds of things with dollars and cents.
Councilor Pelletier.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking of measurements, why is the road so narrow? You have all that room, they put that big hill in behind the curb. It's still a tight turn. Now, you've been a fire marshal. Did the fire department agree on that tight turn? Let me finish, Council. You'll have your turn. All right? I just can't believe it. And I think that the Y cheapened us, because in order, they have to spend more money to widen the road, but they didn't do that. But I appreciate you having no parking there. I understand your point there. But I agree with Councilor Brevi also. You know, they made a deal and then they took it back. And I'm pretty disappointed, okay?
Mr. President,
They took a piece of prime property.
last point.
This will be the last point. Either that or we're going to refer this whole matter to a committee where you guys can debate it out at length.
Mr. President.
You only speak twice.
Councilor O'Keefe, one last
Mr.
time,
President.
please, sir.
The Mayor Driscoll has earmarked replacement of the bridge in stimulus applications to the federal government. And hopefully, with city engineer Knowlton working on the replacement of the bridge, which will be further up Loring Avenue towards Salem than where it is. And it's a one-lane bridge now, and the bump out was to keep people from, being on the bridge when someone's coming at them, like our fire truck. But our fire trucks, our apparatus can go across the bridge. But it needs to be replaced, and the mayor's office has applied for that with Mass Highway, and hopefully we'll get stimulus money from the Democratic administration.
It's an election year.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, thank you.
Move the question.
On Councilor O'Keefe's recommendation for adoption of amending the traffic ordinance with regard to parking, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, in the year 2010, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic, Chapter 42, Section 50B, handicap parking limited time, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Friend Street in front of number 8 for a distance of 20 feet, handicap parking, tow zones. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by charter.
No discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Prevy's motion to adapt the limited time handicap parking, all those in favor? All those opposed? Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, in the City Council, September 9, 2010, ordered that the monthly financial report dated July the 31st, 2010, be received and placed on file.
Under discussion?
Briefly, Mr. President, I've kind of gotten into the habit of reading the fund balances, and I will do so since we've had a long break of the summer. The stabilization fund, we have now in it $2,513,912.86. Capital outlay account, we have $295,069.38. Sale of city property account, $44,290.50. And the retirement stabilization, we have $857,790.55, just for viewers at home. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Council Prevy's recommendation on acceptance of the monthly report, all those in favor? All those opposed?
Both of them?
Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Seeing none. Committee reports. Council Lovely.
Mr. President, City of Salem, City Council, September 9, 2010. Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, to whom was referred, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of the Salem Comprehensive Parking Study, has considered said matter and would recommend that the matter be referred to the Committee on Community and Economic Development, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole.
On acceptance report, all those in favor, all those opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, under discussion?
Under discussion, Mr. President, actually at our last meeting in July, this got referred into this committee, and it really belongs in Community and Economic Development. It's just a housekeeping matter, and actually there's a meeting scheduled, I think, for September 21st on it at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So there's already a meeting scheduled.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on adoption of the recommendation, all those in favor, all those opposed? So moved. Further committee reports. Council Lovely.
Thank you. In City Council, City of Salem, September 9, 2010, the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred Order Number 42, Residential Wind Turbines, has considered said matter, would recommend that the matter be discharged from committee.
On acceptance report, all those in favor, all those opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, under discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. I actually asked fellow committee member, Councilor Sosnowski. It was his order, and it was his recommendation to discharge the matter at this time. Councilor Sosnowski.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very briefly speaking here, the Renewable Energy Task Force is comprised of an awful lot of very talented people with an awful lot of really good resources, and they're up to speed with almost everything. they've done a really decent job of regulating the entire wind turbine industry in this city. So, I mean, I'm pretty confident that anything that comes up, they'll be able to handle, because they're probably much better than we could here, them being the experts in this area. So, I mean, it's no need for us to debate it. It's already in front of the proper experts. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on adoption of the recommendation, all those in favor? All those opposed? Further committee reports. Council Lovely.
Thank you, Mr. President. In City Council, City of Salem, September 9, 2010, the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom is referred orders number 631-07, 631-09, and 122-09 regarding density bonuses. The committee has considered said matter and would recommend that the orders be discharged from committee.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? All those opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, under discussion?
This too were orders that Councilor Sosnowski worked on in committee, and I'd ask him to just, comment on it.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, basically, these things have come, they've had their discussion, and I'm going to put it to bed. Let it rest. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on adoption of the recommendation, all those in favor? All those opposed? Council Lovely.
Mr. President, actually, just point of personal privilege.
Sure.
I actually emailed to the council, a couple of months ago and then a couple of weeks ago, the tracking sheet for this committee, and anybody that has something that may be in committee, if they could please take a look and let the chair know the urgency. We'd like to be able to really prioritize for the remainder of this calendar year what's in committee. So you all have a copy on your desk. If you could email me the next week or so, and the committee will work diligently to work on matters and discharge or make recommendations to the full council. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Further committee reports. Council Lovely, you all set?
All set. Thank you.
Council Preview.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and the City Council, September 9, 2010. The Committee on Administration and Finance, to whom was referred the matter of a $15,000 appropriation from fund balance free cash to treasurer contracted services, has considered said matter and will recommend that the matter be discharged.
On acceptance report, all those in favor? All those opposed? On adoption of the recommendation, under discussion?
Mr. President, we had a committee meeting this evening, and the Finance Director, Rich Viscay, was present, during which time we discussed this matter, which was referred to committee at our last meeting before we broke for the summer. The problem with this was the $15,000 appropriation was supposed to come from our free cash, and because we closed out the books at that time, we really can't take any further action on this. Mr. Viscay was present. He said they were able to use a different line item that was identified as contracted services, and presume perhaps it's from his own department to make sure that the audit was completed as ambusted exited, which is a requirement of every treasurer as they leave their position. It's a standard practice throughout Massachusetts. So one of the things he said, at some point he may submit another appropriation request depending on what the needs are of the treasurer's office. We still don't have, obviously, a treasurer. My understanding from him, what he represented to the committee, is that they have the position open and they're going to be looking at filling that position. So we'll see where things go. Mr. Viscay indicated he would certainly contact us if an additional appropriation is needed. But at this point in time, I just ask that this matter be discharged.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none. On adoption of the recommendation, all those in favor? All those opposed? Further committee reports. All set. Communications from city officials.
City Solicitor Elizabeth Remenard submitting an ordinance amendment relative to imitation firearms, Chapter 24, Section 26C, violation penalty.
Council Lovely.
Yes. Move that the matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinance, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Council Lovely recommends this matter be referred to the Committee on License, Order, and Legal Affairs. Any discussion? Seeing none. On moving the matter to that committee, all those in favor? All those opposed? Further communication from city officials.
City Solicitor Elizabeth Remenard submitting a traffic ordinance amendment relative to Chapter 42, Section 43, to operating electronic assistive mobility devices.
Council Lovely.
Move that the matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs.
Any further discussion? Councilor O'Keefe.
Through you, Mr. President, question of maybe the chairman, I should have asked earlier at the committee meeting tonight, perhaps the city clerk. Is it possible with this one vendor for him to pay for the ordinance in the paper? Where unlike, taxi cabs, there's a whole bunch of, couldn't saddle one taxi cab with an amendment to the ordinance. Is it possible to have,
This ordinance isn't just for...
there's only one, these Segway, there's only one
No, it's not.
manufacturer, there's one company.
That's not
Wouldn't we
what's before us.
pay them? No? All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Council Pelletier.
It's my understanding that there is no petitioner on this. This is a request from the police department to get it. So, Counselor O'Keefe, don't buy one and go run down the sidewalk and clean people
Mr.
off.
President. Rejoined it?
O'Keefe.
Well, I know, I read the Salem News, a popular published newspaper in Salem, who gave me the impression that it was a done deal and they were coming to the city council and for this ordinance. And they had it all sketched out and they showed a photo of someplace or other. I thought it was, we're going to act on it tonight. I'm sure the chairman of the committee is going to work otherwise, but I can't imagine 10 or 15 of these in a single file going down Derby Street or going down Winter Island Road to, talk about Lakes Hill Road, Winter Island Road, that's a tank trap down there. Imagine those segways going on that road down to Winter Island.
We have a beautiful walkway out there.
I'm sure you do, but I can't, it's a great idea, but I thought they should pay for it, but if you say, I don't think they can, no, you can't.
Before us.
We will. The city clerk's reminding me that we have, Mr. President?
Councilor O'Keefe, last time.
The city
please.
clerk's reminding me that we have nothing before, but I
Yeah, what's the other
anticipate,
one?
according to the newspaper article, that they're going to be coming. Which I think is a great idea.
Councilor Pinto.
Listen to the Salem News.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just asked that it be co-posted with committee of the whole, please.
Fire matter as well. Back to week
And the previous one, the fire notes.
I'll take care of that in 1 second. Thank you. Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you. Just a friendly request. I'd like to include on the discussion of this when it gets to committee, unlicensed scooters, unregistered scooters, et cetera, those to be included as well into the discussions. Friendly. We can discuss it.
Yep, sure, we can discuss it. Councilor O'Keefe.
Chair recognizes Council President from Ward 1, Robert McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, I had discussions with the city solicitor on this matter. I partook of a beautiful event down the Willows, which was the Jazz Festival. For anyone who had the opportunity to go, it was a great weekend. They did a great job. Kudos to the Salem Jazz Festival. But while I was there, I was taken aback because there was 2 Segways kind of scooting around, and I was kind of watching them, and one of the guys stopped, and he handed me a piece of paper and basically said they were going to come to Salem and start renting Segways. So that immediately threw up flags in my mind going, okay, we're going to have Segways coming around. And through discussions with the mayor's office and with Ms. Renaud, we don't have an ordinance. We have nothing in the traffic ordinance that is relative to specifically Segways. Other states have ordinances. The state of Massachusetts does not. There are certain municipalities that around us, Cambridge being one and a few others, have some that deal with Segways. So it was kind of like, okay, they want to come, which I'm open for that discussion, but at the same time is we got to put something on the books to make sure that if they do come, there's rules that they can follow.
And routes. And routes,
Well,
Mr. President?
that would be up to the will and the wisdom of the committee. We'll leave that to them. So that's
City
where
Council.
a lot of this came
Rejoin
from.
that, Mr. President. The council decides the routes. The committee recommends to the council. The council decides the routes.
Thank you for that clarification, sir. But I will leave it to everyone's wisdom as to what we'll do with this, but it's just, it's an attempt that, a business wants to come to Salem, that's great. But at the same time, is we want to make sure that the public safety as well is assured. So that's where a lot of this came from, and we'll leave it in Council Lovely's committee's hands at this point. Thank you.
Any other remarks? Any other members of the city council? All in favor of the order? Councilor Pelletier.
Yeah, just nobody can come in and do a rental on anything without permits.
All right, thank you. All set, Mr. President? Come by.
Unanimous.
Mr. President?
Yes, Council.
I'm sorry, did we vote on that?
We're going to do that right now.
Go ahead. And I want
On
to-
Council Lovely's recommendation, this matter be referred to the Committee on Licensing and Orders and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole. All those in favor? All those opposed? We're going to take something, we're going to revisit the previous communication from city official that the previous matter regarding the city solicitor's amendment relative to imitation firearms,
we
chapter
actually-
24.
We move for immediate reconsideration on that? I'd actually like to move for passage on that. Can we move for immediate reconsideration on the firearms, and I'll talk to it? I move for immediate
Under discussion.
Move for immediate reconsideration of the amendment relative to the imitation firearms.
Council Lovely's move to immediately reconsideration of the ordinance on amendment to the firearms.
Any objection?
Any objections? No. Council Lovely.
In actually just rereading the ordinance, the city solicitor is making the recommendation that the fine be reduced from $500 to $300 because it doesn't mirror the Mass General Law. The Mass General Law is $300, we have a $500. So it simply is just correcting our ordinance to mirror the Mass General Law. We're in violation of that. So I would actually move for passage tonight. I don't see where it needs to be referred to committee and have a discussion on it. It's very straightforward.
We have to vote on the reconsideration.
Didn't we?
We did. I asked if there's any objections, and there was none.
Right, but we didn't vote.
Reconsider it?
Does that require a roll call vote?
No, not a roll call, just all those in favor, all those opposed.
Oh, no objection.
Okay, I'll make sure we do it right.
Is there a letter?
On immediate reconsideration, on the immediate reconsideration of the ordinance amendment relative to imitation firearms. All those in favor?
I couldn't find it.
All those opposed? Now we got it straight. Thank you, Council. On Council Lovely's recommendation that this matter be approved, all Council...
Under discussion, Mr. President?
Surely.
Since we're going forward with this thing tonight, then I have a consideration here, a concern. I've always been under the impression that we cannot be any less restrictive than the state, but we can be more restrictive than the state. If that's being the case, so be it. We want to charge $500 for an imitation firearm, fine it for $500. I'm not opposed to that at all. If the state only wants to go $300, fine. I want to be more restrictive. Let's go $5. It's too much of a danger to our policemen out there to be confronted with that. It's a bad situation, and we need to really put something on it.
Council Lovely.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and I appreciate Councilor Sosnowski's comments. If we read the solicitor's letter, it says that the penalty is in excess of what is allowed by Chapter 40 of the Mass General Law. So in this case, we can't exceed because it's violating the Chapter 40 of the Mass General Law. I have not, honestly, I haven't read the law. I'm taking this on the face of the city solicitor who we trust to make sure that we're doing this right. So if you wanted to go into committee now, I don't think that we need to, but if you have a concern about it, I guess we'll put it back into committee, but I think it's just housekeeping. Thank you.
Council Free.
Thank you. To kind of comment on what Councilor Lovely said, that's true. This issue has come up before. As a municipality, we can only fine up to like $300. Anything beyond that, under Mass General Law, it has to go to court. So, under the way the ordinance is written, we're able to do it to a maximum of $300. Any type of fine beyond that, a court has to get involved.
Council Sosnowski.
It's good we have such people that are so familiar with the court systems around here, because I'm certainly not, all right? Having heard what I've just heard here, then I would take back my objections to that, and I would let it go forward at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Motion to approve.
On Council Lovely's motion to approve, all's in favor, all's opposed? Are we all set with that? Thank you. Petitions.
President? I'll wait. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Thank you.
Petition from Comcast to install conduits on Bridge Street.
Hearing ordered September 23rd, 2010. Petitions.
Petition from National Grid to install conduits on Congress Street Bridge.
Councilor O'Keefe.
Move for here. Oh, all right. Mr. President, Chair recognizes Councilor Ward.
Thank you, Councilor. I'm going to move that this matter be referred to my committee, Committee of the Whole. For those councilors that have partaken in various discussions with regard to National Grid's work with regard to this, I know Councilor Sosnowski, Councilor Ronan, Councilor Pelletier, and myself have, on different occasions, have been in discussions with National Grid. This is relative to, they want to replace the line that's buried underneath. There's two lines, high voltage lines, 1,500 volts, that run underneath Derby Street. One goes all the way, 15,000 volts, thank you. One of them runs two of them run all the way down Derby Street. One takes a left and goes up Lafayette, and then crosses over down behind and goes to behind Jay and Phillips Glass, where the others, and the other one runs all the way up Derby Street and goes up Washington Street, down Canal Street, and then goes into Jay and Phillips by with the site behind. So there's two routes now. In order for National Grid to move forward to replace the lines, they have to come up with a plan on how they're going to replace them. They have looked at various ways to get from point A, being Dominion Harbor Power Station, to where the distribution, where the grid is, to where it is behind J. and Phillips Glass. And so they have to come up with alternate routes. They've had discussions with all of us about various routes and whatever, and they have to pick various routes. This kind of is, they're applying for this conduits because they're there, but this isn't proper the way it kind of came through, only because they're not looking to put them through there. They're looking for the permission to say, okay, if we decide to go this way, we want to do that. So right now, they're not looking to go underneath the Congress Creek Bridge, but they put in the application, kind of putting the cart before the horse a little bit on that one. So what we're going to do is, I want to refer this to committee. We want to have them in, have the councilors in that it affects the wards that potentially could be affected. They're going to lay out what routes they're looking at. And then at some point, we're probably going to have, according to the way they do this, we're going to have a public hearing so people can weigh in, because there's going to be a lot of work done. I mean, even depending upon which route it goes, and I've seen a couple, Derby Street is going to be torn up to remove the lines. And what the thing about the whole project is, they have to put in one line before they remove one line, and then they have to put in the other line before they remove a line. It's not like they can just cut the power at both ends, then take that wire out and then put the new one in. So they have to kind of do them in conjunction with each other. So it's going to be a very labor-intensive, time-intensive project. So we want, that's why they have to petition us to go through this. So right now, I move that this whole matter be referred to the committee of the whole, and then we'll schedule a meeting, and so that everybody's interested in this. Obviously, Ward 3, Ward 5, Ward 2, and Ward 1. And any councils at large want to come in, I'll make sure that we have 6 present, and we'll have a meeting and have them in, and we'll talk about it. And then we'll see what routes they're proposing, and then we'll determine whether or not at that point we have to have, we're at the point where they will require a public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. President. Any other council wish to speak? Council Pelletier on this petition.
Yeah, I just want to, we were at a meeting in the mayor's office with the new hierarchy for National Grid. Were you there?
Nope.
Why not? Okay, I'll get the meeting minutes to you, because we discussed that,
Yeah.
Derby Street. But we didn't discuss it in detail, but, okay.
Any other council wish to be recognized? Seeing none, hearing none. All in favor of the motion of the council president to refer this petition to the committee of the whole? In favor? Opposed? Ayes have it.
Further petitions.
Mr. President?
Council Sosnowski.
Yeah, could I beg your indulgence, beg the council's indulgence to go back one matter to the Bridge Street petition?
Sure.
As you probably, everybody's aware.
Councilor Sosnowski's motion to go back to the petition for the Comcast install condos on Bridge Street. All's in favor, all's opposed. Councilor?
Thank you, Mr. President. We have here a situation here where Comcast is coming in to put some conduits underneath Bridge Street. And they're going to be putting these conduits also, once they cross these conduits underneath Bridge Street, they're also going to be putting them in the sidewalks. They're making fairly good progress coming down Bridge Street right now with brand-new sidewalks, brand-new curbs, and we're going to be putting in a substrate, the first layer of road going in. My concern here is this hearing that is going to be done on September 23rd. They're going to come in and ask for the council permission to do these conduits. If that date happens to be after they've just poured brand-new sidewalks on those residences, I'm going to be a little concerned about that. My request then would be, I would like to talk to Dave Knowlton as to their contract scheduling, and if that's the case, I would like to request that this not be done at that date, but it be done at a committee of the whole, your committee of the whole as well, that we could schedule it, hopefully with a, 3 days notice, I think it might be, what is it, short notice or something. because I don't want to have brand-new sidewalks, brand-new curbs, and a street down, only to have them come in with their trenching machines, go across a repaved street, disrupt a curb, just tear up brand-new sidewalks that have just been poured. I mean, I'd like to think that this is being done in a timely manner, but I don't know, and I can't tell you. Maybe September 23rd is a fine date, I'm not sure. All right, I'm just concerned in that regard. And it really is something that I really want to push, because there's also a telephone pole in a neighbor's backyard there that is not supposed to be there, and getting this done in a timely fashion would help get that pole out of there. I mean, there's so many things that are comprehensively going on at the same time there, and this would be, I'm concerned about the date. And it just, I don't know how to address it. This is our first meeting, and I don't know where to go with this at this point.
Counsel, so are you requesting that, in addition to this hearing, that this matter also be referred to the committee of the whole? Therefore, if it's needed to have a committee of the whole meeting, then we take it up prior to this hearing?
That's exactly what I'm asking. Yes, Mr. President. Because I need to check with Dave Knowlton, all right, and see what's going on time-wise, because if that's the case, I would like to know what's going on. Our city engineer would know the timeline on the construction, when they'll be coming that far down Bridge Street, all right? And for everything that I've just said, I mean, that's the reasoning behind that.
Madam City Clerk, can we do that? Can we keep the hearing date open and also refer the matter to the committee of the whole?
You can refer to the committee of the whole, and then you want us to still go forward and send out notices for the hearing date?
Would you still want to send out notices for the hearing date, Counselor? That's the rub on this one.
That's 2 weeks away from now. And assuming they come in from now, assuming we can delay them putting the sidewalks in that part of the paving for 2 weeks, assuming we can do that, that's only the date they're going to come in and ask for permission. Then they have to issue their own work orders. At this point, what I'll do is I'm going to let this ride, but I'm going to talk to Dave Knowlton and see if there's a matter. And if there's a matter, I will contact you and the city clerk, and I'll try to get it expedited.
Okay.
All right, thank
So
you.
at that point, there's going to be no, we're just going to leave
But
it
just
the way it was.
so if we do get the word out, everybody will understand why I want that word out. Thank you.
Councilor Ronan, then Councilor Pelletier.
Yes, Mr. President, I just want to be sure that we can approve this at our next meeting. You know, at home, sometimes people don't even understand what the conduits are. Conduit is just a hollow, as you know, being in a construction business, is just the hollow tube that's going under the sidewalk that would hold the Comcast wires. I mean, it's silly not to install the conduit while you're doing the sidewalk so that you can fish your wires later. So, you know, what's going to happen, I think, practically is we're going to have a public hearing on this, and then we want this matter approved. We want the conduits under the sidewalk. We'd rather have them under the sidewalk than in the sky. So, you know, the hearing is on the 23rd. Our next meeting is
The 23rd.
the 23rd. So what I guess I share Councilor Sosnowski's concern. I want to make sure that we can have the public hearing and then immediately move for passage of this on the 23rd.
That should happen, barring a whole bunch of people showing up objecting.
And I think that's the fastest we can do it, right?
Councilor Pelletier.
Mr. President, this is a state job, and the state's not gonna let Comcast, if they put in a new sidewalk or street, every time the state puts in a new street, they have a 5-year moratorium on digging, okay? So, Counselor, you can talk to the city engineer, but I don't believe that they'll put in new sidewalks and the state lets Comcast come in and dig them up. It's not gonna happen. So they must have a timeline working with the state in that project to do this. Other than that, just coming to us for approval wouldn't do them no good, because they have to have approval from the state because it's a state project.
Thank you, Councilor.
Move the question.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. So we're going to take no motion on that, Councilor Sosnowski. We'll just leave it as it is. Hearing order for September 23rd.
Mr. President? Yeah, we're going to leave that as it is. It's just that I'm going to be doing some behind-the-scenes investigating. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Just keep me in the loop.
We do.
Further petitions.
Petition from Stephen Key, Salem 1692 Tours for a proposed street license with stops.
Councilor Lovely.
Move the matter referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Any discussion? Seeing none, on Council Lovely's recommendation, this matter be removed to the Committee on License, Orders, and Legal Affairs. All is in favor, all is opposed. Further petitions.
We have a petition from the residents of Orchard Street to hold a block party between Dearborn and Franklin Streets on Sunday, September 12, 2010, from 3:30 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that it be granted.
Under discussion?
I invite everyone on the council to join us all down there during that period of time. Given that one and the one that's going to be read next, it's becoming party central in Ward 6.
I can see that. Councilor Prevey's recommendation, this matter be granted. All is in favor, all is opposed. Further petitions.
We have a petition from the residents of Lee Street to hold a block party on Saturday, September 18, 2010, from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., with a rain date of Sunday, September 19, 2010.
Councilor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that it be granted.
Under discussion?
Briefly, I obviously want to invite everyone on the council, and I also want to thank the folks in the neighborhood for both of these block parties for organizing. I know they put a lot of work into it every year, making sure that they pull things together for the neighborhood. So it's one of these things that we always enjoy granting approval to and obviously attending.
It seems like the residents on Lee Streets are a bit of more of a party animals. They're starting at 10 and finishing at 11.
Hard partiers down there. Yep.
Glad to hear it. On Councilor Prevey's recommendation, this matter be granted. All is in favor, all is opposed. Further petitions.
We have the following licenses: Public Guides and Tag Day.
Councilor Lovely.
Move they be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Lovely's recommendation that these matters be referred to the Committee on License or Legal Affairs. All is in favor, all is opposed. Further petitions.
We have taxi operator, vehicle for hire, and vehicle for hire operators only licenses.
Councilor Lovely.
Move they be granted.
On Councilor Lovely's recommendation that these matters be granted. All is in favor, all is opposed. Further petitions.
We have 10 claims and 2 subrogated claims.
Councilor Lovely.
Move they be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Lovely's recommendation that these matters be moved to the Committee on License, Orders, and Legal Affairs. All is in favor, all is opposed. Further petitions.
We have 2 constable bonds.
Councilor Lovely.
Move they be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and returned approved.
Councilor Lovely's recommendation that these matters be referred to the Committee on License, Orders, and Legal Affairs and returned approved. All is in favor, all is opposed. Unfinished business.
We have second passage of an ordinance amending zoning, use regulations, and table of principles and accessory regulations.
Mr. President?
Councilor Roman.
Mr. President, this is on for second passage, but I had originally proposed some language. This has to do with the use regulations concerning medical clinics and in business districts, specifically changing our zoning ordinances to make medical clinics require a special permit in a business district. I had originally proposed some language. The language has been played with. But I'm going to propose one amendment tonight, and then I'm going to propose a final passage. With respect to the zoning ordinance amendment before you, I'm going to move that we amend the medical clinic definition by taking out the following sentence. No matter how the clinic is named, the clinic shall not include a clinic conducted by a hospital licensed under Mass General Law, Chapter 111, Section 51, or by the federal government or by the Commonwealth. Other than that, I'm going to move later that we pass it. So my first motion is to amend the ordinance amendment by striking that sentence.
Under discussion?
The only discussion, Mr. President, and I've talked with my fellow proponents of the ordinance, Councilors Pelletier and Lovely. This is a kind of a confusing sentence that seems to give an exception to the medical clinic for various entities. I'm not sure that it's needed. I'm not sure that we want it. So I'd just like to tighten up this zoning ordinance by taking this sentence out entirely.
Councilor Pelletier.
Yeah, I want to first second his amendment, and I totally agree. This wasn't in the original draft, and it got put in there, I think, through planning, whatever. And I totally agree. It's not necessary at this point. If later on it needs to be reworked, we can do that.
Any further discussion?
No further discussion.
On Councilor Ronan's amendment to delete the sentence, could you specifically read back the sentence that you like deleted?
Yeah,
Which was, one second, that motion was seconded by Councilor Pelletier. So could you read what we're going to be voting on, please?
To amend the zoning ordinance amendment by deleting the sentence that reads, "No matter how the clinic is named, clinic shall not include a clinic conducted by a hospital licensed under Mass General Law, Chapter 111, Section 51, or by the federal government or by the Commonwealth." That will be excluded from the final.
Period,
Uh,
right? Period.
Period. Okay?
Any further discussion? Everyone knows what
Just-
we're going to be adopting under the amendment?
Just for the record,
Councilor Pelletier.
in the paragraph, medical clinic in bold, it starts on line 8, at the end of line 8, no matter how the clinic is, it goes, just for the council's verification, so we know where we are.
On acceptance of the amendment, all those in favor? All those opposed? Councilor Ronan.
I would move for final passage of an ordinance to amend the ordinance relative to zoning. This is the ordinance that I just said. This is to regulate medical clinics in Salem and to allow them in a business district, but only by special permit. No further discussion.
Councilor Ronan's motion to adopt for second and final passage the amended, what we just voted on, the amended version of the ordinance. Madam City Clerk, will you please call a roll?
Roll call vote.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Lovely?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Pelletier?
Yes,
Counselor Pinto?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor Ronan?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. President,
1 second, please. On the matter of second passage as amended, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Councilor Ronan.
I'd move for immediate reconsideration in hopes that it does not prevail.
On Councilor Ronan's movement for immediate reconsideration in hopes does not prevail, all those in favor, all those opposed? Further unfinished business.
Move second passage of an ordinance amending Article 3, Chapter 26, Salem Common Use Policy.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move for second and final passage.
Under discussion?
No discussion. Well, this has been well debated. I mean, it's the protection of the common.
Councilor Fury.
Mr. President, fellow members, I'm strongly opposed to any language in this second passage to involve this city council in issuing liquor licenses. We are a part-time political body. Clearly, we have the licensing board, the former Chief Robert St. Pierre, John Casey, and Rick Lee to issue such licenses. We are very fortunate to have each of them on that board. We also have the Park and Recreation Board, Chris Burke, Robert Callahan, Amy Everett, James Shea, Leslie Tuttle. We voted as city councilors for these positions. Each brings a wealth of talent and energy to these boards with impressive backgrounds and experiences in law enforcement, legal issues, and community affairs. We should not add another layer of us, the city council, in the process of issuing liquor licenses in this issue by involvement in this second passage. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Councilor Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I understand the whole concept of this ordinance. I mean, I agree with Council Fury. I don't think the city council should be getting involved in the alcohol part. We have a licensing board. We have the park commission. That's sole job is to protect the parks. Now you're adding an extra layer for if someone like the bike people want to come and have that thing, they have to come in front of us. When you have restaurants that are there 365 days a year that go in front of the licensing board but don't come back to us, it doesn't make sense. If you don't think that the park commission can handle, I mean, their job is to protect the parks, then why don't we just take this whole thing back and we deal with the whole common issues? I mean, I don't think it's right that we're acting like their parents. Their job is to protect the parks. They're not going to let something happen. The licensing board will regulate whether the license should be issued. I don't agree with the whole alcohol thing. I don't think we should be getting involved in that.
Councilor Lovely.
Just a point of clarification. I don't really want to debate this. I'm supportive of this for a number of reasons, and I was on the council when we ceded all the authority over to the Park and Rec. But I think this part regarding alcohol should come back to City Council, but it does go in front of the licensing board. So there's a second layer there. It just doesn't stop here. Licensing board has to issue that license as well. It's just City Council, just for alcohol, Salem Common, has to come to this body. Thank you.
Council Pinto.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, I support this. I'm the liaison over at the Park and Rec, and I had a discussion with the people at the Park and Rec, and I worked with Council Sosnowski on this. I think the bottom line is that, you know, the bike race, everything went well with the bike race. There was no problems. The same thing with the Jazz Festival down the Wells, regardless of how they went about issuing the permit. The bottom line is that we're the ones that get the calls when something goes wrong. We're the ones that are held accountable by the people that live down there. So Ward 2 Council will attest to it. We're the ones that get the calls when something goes wrong, not the people on the boards. And I don't have anything personally against the people on the boards. They do their job according to what they do. But we're the ones that get the calls when there's a problem. I don't see it as a hindrance, putting another layer. I think it's good that it comes in front of us. If it's something that, in an established event, such as the Jazz Festival, Mr. President, no problems. It's not broken. We're not going to fix it. Same thing with the bike race. But I think it's another layer of something where we're held accountable by the people that put us in this office, and if they're going to be affected by it, I think it's a good thing. Thank you.
Move the question.
Roll call, please.
On Councilor Fury's request for roll call vote, can I see 3 hands, please? 1, 2, 3. Madam City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Counselor Fury,
No. Opposed?
Counselor Lovely,
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe,
Yes.
Counselor Pelletier,
Yes.
Counselor Pinto,
Yes.
Counselor Prevey,
Yes.
Counselor Ronan,
Yes.
Counselor Ryan,
No.
Counselor Sargent,
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes. On the matter for second passage of an ordinance amending Article 3, Chapter 26, Salem Common Use Policy, we have 11 councilors voting, 9 in the affirmative, 2 in the negative. The matter carries. Councilor O'Keefe.
Move for adjournment.
Councilor O'Keefe's motion for adjournment.
Under me.
Unanimous.